Hello, Ballet Sisters. We are together in person. Yay! We are here at the theater at the dance festival that we grew up going to. And we're going to be here all weekend watching these amazing, amazing dancers. And we're going to talk to the adjudicators too on Friday.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that. We just came out of our first ballet session of the festival. And we're in love, of course.
Loved it. It makes me so happy.
Yes.
We were talking about how we have the dopamine hit
Oh, God.
yesterday.
Yeah. All the bouncy chassés from the little ones. Oh, my God. It just fills my heart with so much joy. Seeing
So
those
much
bouncy
joy.
chassés.
We've watched a
stuff,
lot
yeah.
of jazz, and we've watched a lot of lyrical.
Yeah.
And ballet started today, and ballet is our favorite.
Yeah.
We watched some fabulous little character ballets from age 8
Yeah.
to 15.
Yes. Yeah.
What was one of your favorites?
Well, one of my favorites, of course, was the little girl that did Hermione.
Yes,
She was
that
so
really
perfect.
sweet.
And like
She had a wand.
Harry Potter music is great for ballet. We had like the tiniest little Esmeralda.
Loved her.
Oh my God, she like
They called it
filled that stage.
Tarantella, I think.
Yeah,
they called it. Yeah.
She filled that stage
9.
with so much like intensity, and she got most outstanding. I
Most
think.
outstanding.
Yeah, most outstanding too. They do like awards also, and so she got
It was
most
beautiful.
outstanding. We had a lot of fairies.
Yeah.
We had a butterfly with massive wings that was
Yeah.
awesome too. Yeah.
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
Fairies, a lot of fairies.
Yeah.
But we also had like Belle from
Oh yeah.
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the
She
Beast,
was
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. And
We
just,
love
like,
character ballet.
amazing performance. And to like the little kids, I was saying like they seem to have like they have no like awareness of like anxiety or like shame as you're getting older or whatever. They're just there and loving it.
They
and like
had-
I love the little ones for that, you know?
So much
the like
fun.
10 and under kind of thing. They're just loving every moment of it. And
No nerves.
No nerves. Yeah. And we were saying yesterday, like, those are the kids that are practicing that like 24/7, right?
Yeah.
They are so excited about their solo or their group piece or whatever. So, yeah.
I am Jodi Atwood. I live in a small town in southern Alberta called Cardston, Alberta. And I owned a studio there for 22 years.
Oh, wow.
This is where I came here, and I'm like, oh, this is
Your home.
Like,
This
it
is
feels
like us.
like us too.
Totally,
you know?
yeah.
Feels like home.
Yeah. It's
So,
your roots. It's
It
what,
is,
you know?
yes,
Yeah.
This is where I'm comfortable. I took my students to New York several times.
Wow.
And we, took class there on Broadway and, went to shows and did the whole backstage tour.
So good for them.
Yeah, they work so hard, right? On their exams and their competitions. And then it's nice for them to actually like go out and just take a breath of fresh air and watch people in action.
Dance. Yeah. And
like
not be in their
watch
head about it.
professionals in action and be like, and just dream a little.
We tend to, us being sisters and grown up with the same dance teacher, we kind of have the same aesthetic and feel for dance.
Yes.
So quite often we'll just, after someone's done, they've gone off stage, we'll just look at each other and go,
Or like, ooh, that gave me the chills.
Ooh,
You know, like, yeah. So what's that?
Absolutely.
Like,
what gives you that?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a lot of things that give me the wow.
Yeah.
I love poise and, like
Upper body.
yes, and long neck and also gorgeous feet.
Yes.
Of course.
And I love to see dancers utilizing their entire body as far as muscle goes. Like, actually engaging all muscles throughout their body. And,
Just in contemporary, just now we were watching and I said that she used every muscle in her body by the time she left that stage.
It's wonderful to see that. And then obviously, like technique is huge. But all of those things come with practice and rehearsing and bar work. And so, I love, stretching the backs of your knees and
we were
the
talking about
beautiful
that yesterday.
extensions,
Like in that arabesque, get that knee straight.
turn out from the hip socket.
Yeah.
But I think something that I've been watching for that sort of separates girls is because a lot of them here are very, very talented and they do have a really good base. Like you can tell their teachers are teaching them well. And so I think it's the heart. I love to see
and you
the
can
heart.
tell, right? on stage.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long. They're on stage for like 10 seconds, and I can tell this is going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, we had some just the contemporary, just a few steps onto stage. It's like, oh, I know this is going to be good.
Yeah.
From
Yeah,
two
you can
steps onto
tell. Oh,
stage,
yeah.
you
I was
know?
actually thinking that yesterday when I was adjudicating. We know in the first, like, probably 20 seconds.
Yeah.
What your mark's going to be.
I believe that.
Just because
crazy,
of
but it's
how
true,
you present yourself right from the start.
What does everyone need to work on? Like, what's something
That anybody and everybody needs to
technique
work on.
wise, or
Yeah, I think poise is huge. Like not only on the stage, but wherever you are. Like just and I mentioned this yesterday.
You did that you should be able to be seen. That's a dancer.
Yes.
Walking down the street.
Yes.
I like that.
And if you don't make a habit of it in your daily life, then it's not like it's just going to magically appear when you're on stage.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so you have to practice, and that is something that you can practice wherever you are.
Yeah. That's
Whether
a good
it's like
point.
sitting down having an interview, I'm like, am I
Yes.
When doing character ballet, you can be, you know, using traditional characters, but it's what do you have that you can bring to the character that's different than the normal? Like, and it's like,
it's
you know, like a little, you know, someone yesterday they threw in like a little section that wasn't like very balletic, but it was really just something that person could do to bring out the character that made us all like, whoa, that is really like a true character coming out. So like something little and unique. It doesn't have to be something huge, but just something that separates you from the rest of the crowd, or even just that character in general, like what people think of when they think of that character, like brings something a little different.
You know?
And
I mean, we saw someone do Alice yesterday, Alice in Wonderland. I did Alice in Wonderland like 30 years ago.
I think we
you
all
know?
did.
35 years ago.
I was a Cheshire Cat.
And that's okay, because there are some characters that do make for a great character
They're
ballet.
timeless, right?
But making it unique in your own, absolutely. Between your teacher's choreography, but also what you're bringing on the stage.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I think for a lot of dancers, performing character ballet when maybe they're not, maybe classical ballet isn't their forte.
Yes.
But when they do character ballet, they're able to bring something to the stage or to the performance that isn't so technical, but will still like draw the audience in. And I think that's like really the purpose of character ballet is,
I agree.
oh, we can still work on our technique, but if I don't have the best turnout, then I do have this really amazing performance quality with my facial expression or whatever it is that I can bring to the stage that's different than other people that have amazing turnout and gorgeous feet.
One, technique only gets you so far. Unfortunately, like it's true. It's like you can have the best technique in the world, but if you're there on stage blank, you know, like it's really
Well, and when you get older, God gave you the body that He gave you, and sometimes you don't have that perfect classical ballet body.
Yes.
Both of us, but we went far with some of the character stuff because we had that going for us. So just
absolutely.
when you're stepping forward, like in a tolier or whatever it is, the first thing you want to think about is your ankle or heel coming forward. And she mentioned putting as if you had a sticker on your ankle and you want your audience to see your sticker. So Monique, show us where you would not be showing us the sticker. Exactly. Show us the sticker. You're turning out from your hip, thigh, not your knee, not your ankle, turning out from your hip so that we can see that sticker on your ankle. Thank you, Monique.
We saw some, it was 13 and 14-year-old girls, classical ballet, and we saw a few variations that we saw at Prix de la Sang, which was pretty neat, and a variation that we saw at YAGP too.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was kind of neat to see those variations come up again and kind of go, oh, I know this. I know this. Yeah. So that was kind of neat.
Yeah, some pieces from Capelia.
Yeah.
Some,
I think Awakening of Flora.
There was some Giselle. Yeah.
We just watched some contemporary, kind of contemporary jazz, let's call it. Yeah. really good. A lot of duets, and the girls were really together in their duets,
Yeah.
which is such a big part
Important.
of a duet, right? Yeah, yeah. And there was a trio where they were doing a lot of things, some in canon, some kind of together, and they did a really good job distinguishing the two. So yeah, A+.
Yeah, when
A+,
you're
yeah.
supposed to be together, you have to be together.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah. One thing I noticed is people are using a lot of like spoken word poetry instead of a song, especially for contemporary, solo.
Yeah.
So that was kind of an interesting detail. Gives a different feel. Yeah, it was an interesting kind
The
of
older girls, of
yes,
course.
for sure. Which is nice because like the older girls, like I feel like when you're 14 and you're showing a lot of emotion on stage, sometimes I don't really believe you've maybe felt that emotion in your life, but it's like when you're 17 and 18, it just comes up across as way more authentic when you're being kind of emotional on stage.
And spoken word, you have to really have your own musicality and your own rhythm.
Yes, that's true.
Because you don't have the music as much to follow, so the older girls tend to be able to do that.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
My name is Kim Breiland. I am from Victoria, BC. I run a dance studio in Victoria called Stages Performing Arts School. We're celebrating 45 years of being in business and celebrating the arts and performing throughout our community and bringing the love of dance and spreading it throughout the community.
Yeah. And that is an accomplishment.
Yes.
Good for you. Good for you.
Staying power.
Yes. What for you is kind of, what's that wow factor for you?
What makes
what makes your
wow.
the chills or the,
That's a tough question because in multidisciplinary festivals or competitions, it depends on the group. But for me, it's that connection with the music, the athleticism, the technique, that balance, but the performance and coming across.
Yeah.
You can have an amazing technique, but if there's nothing here,
nobody's going to hire a technician.
That's right.
Yeah.
They want that je ne sais quoi.
What is every dancer? I mean, every dancer is always growing. You'll never
stop learning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, for the younger dancers, all the dancers need to be in ballet. Ballet.
Yes.
Because it doesn't matter. One of my first auditions was with Janet Jackson, and the first combination was a ballet combination, and they eliminated half the group.
Yes.
And so it's ballet. You can see it in lyrical. You can see it in jazz. You can see it in modern, contemporary. It just solidifies your placement and your lines and how you move from one thing to another.
And I know you've worked with Cirque before, and ballet is so important, even in the acro. In the acro,
Absolutely. It stabilizes the lines. You're not just doing tricks. You're moving from one line to another. And again, what they're looking for in the Cirque pool, they want that special. They want to see you, because by the time you're selected from the audition pool and invited to an audition, all those dancers have something they're looking for. And they need to see you in front, and they go.
Do you have suggestions for nerves? I know a lot of kids for competitions or performances. Like, what do you maybe tell your dance kids? How am I going to get through this going on stage thing after I've done it in the studio for
even the professionals have nerves.
Yes,
totally. You don't have to be a student to be nervous. When you hit professionalism, you're still going to have nerves.
Watch dancers of professional ilk pace. They pace like nervous children backstage. And once they go on stage, they transform. Once they break that wing, that leg, they transform and they settle. As far as nerves, it's everybody's way of dealing with it. I do find nowadays that there is more anxiety issues because we're still dealing with it. Post-COVID issues. We've had a lot of talks around tables with teachers about that.
Interesting.
So I've learned a lot of techniques, but mostly it's just moving them forward. Don't get stuck. Let's move forward. You've got this. Let's move. Breathing techniques. I've learned this one with kids.
Yes.
That's a good one. That one.
Yes.
And some people, it's all individual. I've seen dancers backstage here with their headphones on and going through their steps. I've seen people writing. It's really their coping. You find what works for you.
You need your tools. Kind of thing.
And as a teacher, you zero in on what that child needs. But for the most part, for the ones that I move them forward. I don't let them get stuck.
Yes, that's a good. I love it. A question we had for you specifically that we felt was good was, what's a song that never gets old? Like as a jazz like choreographer, or as, you know, what do you love when it's like the first note starts and you're like, yes, I love this?
Because there's a lot that do get old.
Yes, yeah, totally, yeah. And there's a lot that get over, yeah. Maybe that's a better question. Yeah.
You know what's one September from Earth, Wind and Fire.
Oh,
Okay, yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But now I'm a big Lady Gaga fan, so you know.
Okay.
Awesome, yeah.
We just watched the Show of Stars at the Alberta Dance Festival, the end of the whole festival, and it was amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah. So entertaining, and like one of the adjudicators said, so much talent on that stage and so much potential. It just like blows our mind. So many women and girls out there just like living their amazing lives.
And we come to this festival every year, and we're seeing some of the girls grow in their dance, but like growing up. And there's so many amazing dancers that are now at the like 15, 16-year-old age group that can actually consider a career.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's some amazing dancers in our home province in Alberta.
Blowing us away. Yeah.
So go out there.
Yes.
Compete if you're not a competitive dancer.
Yeah.
Perform your heart out.
Yeah.
It is so much fun, and it's great for your confidence in dance and in life. And
you're bringing so much joy to others.
Yeah.
Just by, you know, going out there and showing your joy of dance and your love of dance.
Yeah. So get out there. Get out there and perform. It's great to be in this studio, but sometimes you just got to get on that stage and do it.
Yeah.
And so we had a fabulous time again.
Yeah.
We have lots coming up with our channel, but we'll be here next year.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yes.
Bye. Smile.
It's a high beat.